First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the former Heisman Trophy winner and #1 overall pick from Oklahoma. It's Sam Bradford.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. And the numbers for Latavius Murray last time out. 24 carries, 95 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
You and I both know that you don't really, truly replace Adrian Peterson. But Latavius Murray is a really good back. Similar running styles, too. Won't wear the same number, we know that. But when you see him run, you might see a little bit of that in him. Upright with some power.
No gain on the play there. Second down. That was second down 1 for Murray. And a big hit at the end of that one. He's knocked down hard. It's a loss of 2, now third down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well. Second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. And tough starting field position here. First carry now for Jordan Howard. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this second down call after that type of a game.
Here's Trubisky. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. I know some of the talk after last week's loss was the O-line struggles. They gave up 4 sacks. He got hit here and taken down again, so that's something to monitor.
It is something to monitor, but they've got to help their offensive line out. Maybe a little bit different play calling, right? Draws, screens, get the ball in the quarterback's hands quicker, maybe some quick game passes. All of that to try and help slow down a pass rush and make things easier on their offensive line. Now, that's a great opening series defensively. You force what should be a 3-and-out on your opening possession.
And great coverage there on third down to force the incompletion to set up 4th. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Second down following the run. Again, it's Murray. Pretty nice move, but not a ton of space there. They stop him shy of the 25. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Throwing, Bradford, and Diggs has it. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. They go play action here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's Bradford, and Rudolph has it left side. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. And they've got it here with a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They go with Murray again. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll run here. It's Murray. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on third down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off, and he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. On first down, Trubisky. Brian Robinson in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
It's brought in by Kevin White. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Sensational he was last week, over 200 yards. And the simple quote that we saw this week was, keep him in front of us. They're going to have to do that.
And when they say that, it means tackling him after the catch. Because once he makes the catch, you may catch it in front. But if you don't tackle him, he's behind you at that point, and that's how he racks up the big yardage.
On first and 10, it's Trubisky. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected their first down.
It's a loss of 10 yards. Now Trubisky to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. It's grabbed over the middle by White. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. On third down, Trubisky. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll have Larry Ridley's highlights, but points obviously hard to come by in this first half. Larry will be in Orlando with our halftime report in about 2 minutes' time.
Yeah, he and his staff, they're putting together nothing but defensive highlights from the first half, and there's nothing wrong with that as far as I'm concerned.
It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return, and the Vikings will take over here first and 10. Bradford now to throw on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. See if they stay on the ground for second down. From the shotgun, it's Bradford. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. First down and goal to go from the 7. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Yeah, he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. He was looking for Jarius Wright that time. And now it's second down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Michael Floyd, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And he's able to put it through.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
Now Trubisky on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I think we can make this one pretty simple. That was a rookie mistake made by the rookie quarterback, trying to force a pass without really using proper mechanics.
Second and 10, it's Trubisky again. And incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free, and brings up third down. The Bears on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And now out comes Minnesota. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively.
In this situation, if they decide to take a shot.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
This is taken near the 13. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard at the 49. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And that is incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game.
Offside.
Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
They run with Murray. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. It's a gain of 3, and it sets him up with 2nd and just 2 yards to go.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. On 1st down, Murray. A strong running. And he's got some space. Latavius Murray, the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Latavius Murray, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Here's Trubisky to throw, and he whips that one incomplete there.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. He hits right, complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Trubisky with a give to Howard. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Flush to his right. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Well, this secondary's done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
And this is incomplete. He was looking for Jordan Howard that time. And it's second down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Looking to throw again, Trubisky. Over the middle, the tight end Shaheen with it. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it. Done.
They run again with Murray. He's seen a ton of action tonight. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. Right at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
On 3rd down, Murray. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Charles, you are the master of abstract facts. So who would you say is the best player ever drafted from Ashland University in Ohio?
How about the only one ever drafted from there? Adam Shaheen, the tight end. Went to the Chicago Bears. Began his college career, though, as a basketball player, Division II in the state of Pennsylvania. And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And so room to maneuver. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Now Trubisky. Flushed out right. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here we go. It's Trubisky on 4th down. Being chased out left. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Scouting points are earned every week. Make sure you use all of your points. A portion of your remaining points will be lost when you advance the week. Don't forget, work on installing your game plan prior to this week's matchup.